First things first. I forgot.
Recording in progress.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back for episode 300 of the VOD Squad. 300. We've been wasting not only our time, but everybody else's time for 6 freaking years.
And we're still on the pre-show.
And we are still on the pre-show because I haven't gotten to announce anything. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hi, everybody.
Michael Aston.
Howdy, y'all.
And Mr. Chicken Kicker Extraordinaire, Jimmy Trammell.
Hey, guys. How's it going? 300? I thought it was 500.
It feels like 500. Oh, guys. So,
Yes.
August 2016
Yes.
was when we did our first episode. August 2016 is also when we did our first episode again.
True.
A week later or whatever. How's everybody doing?
Well, I wanted to just say that today, when I was, like 30 minutes ago, I was having my dinner with my family, and they said, "Happy 300th, everybody!" And they gave me this cake that I wanted to share with you guys.
Oh, wow.
So
Wait.
we are really going to be celebrating today. So
Is mine
I
in the
brought
mail?
cake. If you'd like, I will cut you a piece and I will send it to you. That's not a problem. We can totally do that.
Okay. Zoom has a share audio and share screen function.
But
When
not
are
a
we
share
going to get
cake.
the share cake function?
Yeah.
Totally. I agree.
Definitely waiting for that one.
And so if I will just let you guys know that it is, it's yellow cake, you know what I mean?
Thanks, Wonk.
It's pretty good.
Just get a sip.
That's right. I'll share with you guys.
Yeah,
just
so
wanted
we're keeping up the tradition, right? That for bits, you're getting drunk.
Yep.
Is that right?
Every time somebody donates bits, which I think somebody just did, I take a drink.
Well,
not
he
a whole drink.
He
just a sip.
subbed, which is even more than bits.
Oh,
so
great.
I think that deserves. So this was the tradition was started with 100, and then
Yep,
you repeated it for 200.
I did.
Same
and
bottle.
Yes, I also do similarly. I might have been. So there was one time where I came in with maybe a different bottle because we also do this kind of thing for the New Year's thing. And I also I did a sake once. I know I did that once.
Yeah.
The sake wasn't very good. But back to the whiskey, and I'm a lightweight, as everybody knows. And so I will go ahead and start the tradition up again for this show. We'll start with half a glass. How about that? And this is a little tiny, not quite a shot. It's not as small as a shot glass, but it's not the normal size glass.
I'm just looking to make sure you didn't swap it out for didn't do the magician sleight of hand and take it out of the frame and come back with the with the crystal light.
A little bit different color, but yeah,
There's
I could have totally
just
done
enough difference.
No, we'll start with that. And because for the subscription, here we go.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's smooth. Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm already. Yeah. I cannot. I
But-
don't drink, guys. It's not normally my thing.
So, I guess we should probably get before we get into the news. Oh, hey, Green Gun Guy, thanks for the sub. Matt, go ahead and drink. Before we get into the regular part of the show, I think we've got a little bit of breaking news, and the audio's all wonky. I don't.
Oh,
Damn it! There it is.
Just a slight delay.
Yeah, there was a big giant update, and XSplit looks completely different now. That is not the breaking news. The breaking news is that this will be the final episode in the VOD Squad's current form.
what?
So we going forward after tonight, we will be taking a couple weeks off, and then I think the current plan is to come back with some do a couple short form content,
Okay.
as opposed to one big live stream.
Oh, okay.
Was that news to you?
I'm just noticing something else here. Does the room feel a little different? Because normally I'm getting vibes like lots of echoey nothingness, corporate overlord. Something's different here too. Like there's less, like there's like the room feels different. Is that just me?
It might be just you.
Okay, it's not the fact that we're on Twitch.
Yeah, we weren't going to talk about that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
We're just hoping that that Mr. Bezos doesn't notice that we snuck back, because we told him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
When we slammed the door, we walked out and said, "See you later, Dad. I am never." He said, "Don't ever come back," and he said, well, "I won't." Well, now we're like kind of huddled in the garage for one night, but it's only one night, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so things are going to change. We're not going away completely. We're just going to kind of revamp what we've been doing or what we're going to do going forward.
Okay.
And
New content coming. New
so
ways.
I would
watching
say
us. Excellent.
one thing I will say is right now, every single one of you can help us.
Oh.
And it will not cost you anything. How often is it that somebody asks you for something on the internet and it doesn't actually cost you anything?
This is not a thing that has ever happened to me in my life, sir. Nothing.
Exactly.
Never has happened. Ever.
So,
Right.
what I need everybody right now, open up your YouTube app, look up the VOD Squad, and hit subscribe. We are so close to that 100 that we need so that we can get our custom URL. So, just hit subscribe. You don't even have to ring the bell if you don't want. We won't.
Skip the bell, dudes. Just skip it.
Yeah, and if you really want to, be up on when the new content comes out, then absolutely hit that bell. But yeah, this is why Bezos didn't want us here. Sending everybody over to YouTube.
Yep. Yeah.
But
Get
hit
your friends,
hit those
everybody
subscribe.
you know.
Yep, get everybody that you know. Just hit subscribe. And that's it. That's all we
I
need.
just tried, Clyde, but it says I'm already subscribed. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe you need to unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
Okay, I can do that. Sounds good to me.
I think that helps. I don't know. But
I did that just for you. Just
All
for
right.
you. I did that. Hopefully that helps. I really hope it does.
All right. Well, hey, why don't we get into the business?
Okay.
What
let's
we got
see
anything to
here.
talk about this week?
Stories for this week. We have an oldie but goodie if you want to talk about this.
Oh, what's
Well, I don't know. It's been a while since we've talked about this story, but it does feel like the story that never dies. I mean, I was just curious: is MoviePass actually a zombie that can't die? Because MoviePass is coming back on, and you will be able to
no.
start.
Oh, God.
They're going to come out on September 5th with a way for you to try to subscribe, like sign up to subscribe, in order for you to try to get into a $10 per month plan to get access to some movies somehow. Details coming, essentially. But it is the old Movie Pass, which has had a very long and storied adventure where it has come from a kind of, nothing kind of, or just kind of a thing where you can subscribe and get some movies and some points and things, and then turned into this $10 for all movies kind of method that blew up the internet for a while, and Clyde loved it and he was doing his thing on it. And then it came around that people did the math and said there's no way people could actually pay for this and make this, this isn't sustainable. And then all the movie companies went out and said, we're totally against this because we don't want people to come to the movies. And then COVID happened and then nobody went to the movies, and everybody's like going, shoot, maybe we should have let people go to the movies, because we realize now that people buy popcorn, and popcorn is like costs us 10 cents for a bucket, and we charge them $10 for that's like a lot of profit. Why the heck did we not see this in the past, that movies are not the actual pieces of profit in this entire equation? Instead, we went ahead and killed this thing, and we tried to make our own version because we think our own version is going to be slightly better than theirs, because we get to have all the profits and we can give them all those deals. And does anybody actually sign up for those things? I'm just curious. Maybe, I don't know. I was thinking about it. Well, I'm sorry. You rose your hand. Do you have a question?
No, I signed up for it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And didn't use any of my credits because there was nothing to go see. And then I finally was like, okay, I got to unsubscribe because I've paid $100 for 2 movies.
So you paid normal price.
That's exactly what they wanted. That's so good. So anyways, Movie Pass kind of dies because it's kind of like on its, having a hard time actually getting any money and trying to get deals with anybody.
No. Sorry. Let me correct you. Movie Pass didn't die. Movie Pass was murdered by Helios and Matheson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Stacy Spikes, the original, one of the original co-creators, the guy
got
who
it for a nickel.
No, but remember, he was the guy that Helios and Matheson fired because he kept saying this new business model doesn't work. There is no way to make any money, and they fired him.
Right.
And then they murdered Movie Pass.
And then they put the name up for sale, and he stepped in and said, I'll buy that back for a nickel. Yep. And they said, we need a nickel, so here you go.
Yep.
And now he's bringing it back.
So this is the most excited I have been in a really long time, because for those of you that know me, I don't like going to movies. I absolutely hate most movie theaters. The experience is terrible. With Movie Pass, I went to a lot of movies. And if you look back in 2018, everybody kept bragging about how it was a stellar year for movies. It was the biggest year for movie profits in the longest time. And those same people were talking about, well, this Movie Pass thing is stupid. It's not going to matter. And then Movie Pass went away, and they're talking in 2019, this huge drop off in the box office. What happened? And then obviously 2020. And then, because I think in one of the articles I read, I think the analytics said that the biggest movies owe at least 20% to Movie Pass viewers. That's that is how much money these movie theaters and companies were trying to fight from receiving, because it's not like they cut into their end at all, because you're paying with a MasterCard. It's no different. Why do you care whose money it is? That's the thing I never understood. It's not like Movie Pass is getting a cut rate, which now they have. They're talking. They have agreements with around 25% of the big chains nationwide. So they probably due to the last couple of years, they've been able to negotiate some sort of sweetheart deal. But
yeah. I mean, this comes on the heels of Regal Cinemas indicating that they are likely to file bankruptcy in the near term, because for exactly what we were talking about earlier, there's no good movies coming out. The reason I paid $10 a month for almost a year and only went to see 2 movies is because there's just not much out that's really that compelling and exciting.
I went to a movie a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of dragged there. I didn't want to go see and find out where the crawdads sang. Had it been Movie Pass, I probably wouldn't have cared about how much I hated that movie.
Oh, okay.
The fact that I had to pay it, when all was said and done, I paid about $50 to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I'm thinking, as my feet are sticking to the floor, I'm thinking about, I paid $50 to sit here and be miserable.
Did you go like on a date or something? Like, what would possess you to choose that particular movie?
My friend really wanted to see it, and I've dragged her to. She went and saw Iron Sky 2 with me, and she called that one in. She's like, and we can talk about her motivation for wanting to see the movie, because she kind of felt the same way I did when we walked out.
Yeah. My wife read the book and she enjoyed the book. So she was like, oh, we should go see that. And I was like, you should go see that with some of your friends.
But yeah,
I give you permission. Have a girl date and go see the movie, because I'm not excited about that.
Yeah, this thing with Movie Pass, I mean, it's just the timing, right? I mean, I just think now is not the time out. I mean, I realize that they're doing a beta, right, and all that, and maybe a beta makes sense, but I don't know. I mean, I think I kind of agree with Mike. It's just not any.
I would argue that now is the perfect time, because theaters are so hurt and they're so desperate that now Movie Pass can get the deals that they couldn't get before, where they say, hey, we're going to bring people to you. In return, you give us, 15% off the ticket or whatever.
Right.
You can now have these deals that they absolutely would not have even considered in the past. So,
yeah.
I mean,
maybe, but I still think, they'll probably make hundreds of dollars, and then they'll close down a second time. That's what I think, but I won't say that they don't have a chance.
See, it's the problem.
I think.
Oh, good.
I was just gonna say that I think what Jimmy is indicating, I agree with completely, is that, like, the fact that there aren't good movies, yes, that may be incentive for Movie Pass to get better deals, but there's still got to be something to motivate people to pay 10, 20, or $30 a month to be part of Movie Pass.
So you got to remember, you can't think of this as the Movie Pass Unlimited plan, which is what killed Movie Pass.
Right.
That was unsustainable. This is back to the original Movie Pass plan, which ran for years before the Unlimited. And so think of it more like Audible for movies. You pay 10, 20, or $30, you get a different amount of credits. You can spend them on movies, and I think you can roll some over. So, even if you only get 2 movies a month for $10, that's still huge.
That's a good deal, but only if you're going to actually see something. If there's only 2 movies coming out this year that you care about, it doesn't matter. But
that's the thing. When it comes to Movie Pass, you don't have to care. I went to a ton of movies that I didn't care about. Half of them I walked out
Yeah, Clyde's level of I'll watch this greatly reduced.
Yeah, because when it's free,
when it
it's
didn't
like,
cost him but credits.
Once I've redeemed my $10 worth out of one good movie that I really cared about, and then the rest, there was some great movies that that Dora movie. I never would have gone to see the Dora movie if I hadn't had Movie Pass. And then that was one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. Blade Runner 24 whatever was fine. That Jurassic World movie, I flat out stood up and walked out halfway through that movie.
Here's what's missing with Movie Pass. With Movie Pass, you still have to go to the movie theater. Well, if they did Movie Pass for home, then I think they would have
tons of competition there.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is for people that like going to the theater. There are people that want to go to the theater, and that's expensive. And if you can basically have a gym membership that lets you go whenever you want within the guidelines,
I'll throw this out there. We've been on it for a while, but I'll throw this out there. $10 a month. I expect that'll get you one movie. That is not a bad deal because that's less than you would normally pay for that one movie. And if you can roll it over, then you can build up a few in the months that are slow and you don't see movies you like, and then you have a few extra credits come Christmas time when everything comes out. So I think it could work. I don't think it's a bad idea. Your approach, what you're saying, makes sense. I do feel like the slate of movies is so pathetic that me even thinking about paying $10 a month just isn't even there. But that won't be that way forever. And now they can negotiate these good deals. Hopefully they can sign them for a few years. Things start to recover. Good movies start coming out again. And it works.
And in the end, Movie Pass gets to be the hero that saved the movie theater.
There you go.
So here's the thing. Here's what I want, everybody. I'm not really been into Movie Pass. Haven't really used it at all. We've been following the story. I know about what's going on with it. I'm also not into a lot of these docudramas about stories about things that have recently, failed, like WeWork and whatever the Theranos movie was. Not really interested in those. I would definitely watch.
Wait, did you say Theranos or Thanos?
Theranos. Although those two things you could say, never mind. No, there's some bad docudramas about those, and I've had no interest in those either. But I would totally watch a movie that's about Movie Pass, or a docudrama about its rise and fall and rise again and all that. That would be fun, I think. That's my opinion. All right, next story. Streaming services are popular. Guess what? Nielsen, the Nielsen guys, those guys who would ask you, what did you watch today? Those certain Nielsen families. And go ahead.
Is that the guy that wrote the Lime and the Coconut song?
Drink the bowl up.
Or
Doctor.
Don't Worry, Be Happy.
I don't
wait,
know.
No, sorry, that was Nielsen.
Oh, okay. Well, no, the guys at Nielsen, they figure out who's watching what, and they've got and that's cool. They came out with their numbers, and for the first time ever, it has come out that cable companies are getting on televisions. By the way, all this is over televisions. Get the 34.4% of the viewers. Broadcast, which has been down for a bit, has got 21.6% of the viewers, and for the first time ever, streaming services are getting 34.8% of viewers, which is a larger number than either broadcast or cable, which means streaming is officially winning, I think.
Yeah, it's about time.
It's now time for us to start a show about cable.
The cable guys.
Streaming cutting. Join the cable guys.
See, here is the you just ruined the surprise. The whole reason that we're ending the VOD Squad live is because it's time to start talking about, would you like cable? The convenience of Waterfall TV. Don't even worry about what's on. Just Just turn on the TV and you'll find something.
And it comes
You
with
don't
free
need
internet.
to have
It's easier to
6
push
other services.
Yeah, it's easier to just click up and down on the channel button than trying to launch
Have
different
all of
apps.
your channels in one single guide. You can't do that on streaming services.
Well, actually, you can.
No,
with
no,
TV.
it's kind of hard.
It's hard. That's
No,
yeah.
I bet you somebody out there is going to make a podcast about the merits of cable television and it becomes a dying thing, and
Well,
that's fine.
well, when you think about it, I bought my first dedicated streaming media player 11 years ago. I think it
Okay.
was 2011. It was a Sony Media something or other. I think I still have it someplace. And I mainly bought it because it supported DLNA, so I could stream natively video from my NAS to my TV. And it was one of the first devices post beta where you could get Netflix and Crackle already installed. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just surprised it took this long. It's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
And
it is a sign of the times, and it's a sign of how things are changing and how streaming is no longer the niche it was in the past. It is now a real service. And by the way, I am turning red, and it's not the lights. I'm just my face
I'm
is
waiting
just
for that
turning.
gin blossom.
I've just taken a couple sips, and I just can't believe how well I cannot hold.
Well, see, you drinking isn't as much fun as people making you drink.
That's true.
So
We
need a
volunteer
foursome.
snips. A couple
Foursome.
volunteer sips were in there. That's true.
But
I guess I'm gonna have to switch to the other stuff until people start, making me drink.
Yeah, this is a good milestone, right? Because you remember back when we started this podcast, right? Yeah, they were still seeing things like streaming is just a fad, right?
Yep.
And that kind of thing. And now here we are a few years later, and they've overtaken cable TV.
What?
see,
The internet?
streaming is such a fad. I mean, even look, PlayStation View just said, screw it, we're done. And they quit.
Wow.
Nobody
I
else is
remember
over the
PlayStation
top.
View.
Over the top services are never gonna gain adoption.
Well, they're
That's
saying the
what we
same
were
things
talking
right
about.
now. They're saying the same things right now about streaming video games. So that's a fad. This is never
But
going to
that's
happen.
because Stadia's dead.
It's right. It is dead, right?
See, the only thing
But I
that
was
we
playing it
have, the only headline that we have talked about more than Movie Pass
Was
is-
Quibi.
is Stadia dead. And then Quibi is
Oh, okay,
behind
Quibi. I was going to say it's got to be Quibi, right?
We've talked about Quibi as a measure of time
That's right.
many times, but there was only like two articles about it because it came and died so fast that nobody
Yeah.
could write
It-
anything
it-
about it.
But-
Quibi came up later as a noun.
But remember, a Quibi is longer than a CNN Plus.
Yes.
It is.
Wow.
It's hard to believe.
You know what? I think we're already moved into our another segment, so screw
What?
the news. Let's
Oh.
just move on to our recap.
What?
I
What
mean,
happened to all this news?
it's in the doc. We'll give them the
Oh.
link if they want to. If they want to see it, they can go look at it themselves.
Fine.
I mean, it's 6 years.
Okay, fine.
So when we
Screw
started-
the doc.
I mean, our opening video says a lot
Yes, it
about-
does.
about where we were when we started, because it's got like a PlayStation View. There's a Roku 2.
It's an original Chromecast on
There's
it,
an
I think.
original Chromecast.
Mhm.
But so I mean, where have we been? We started on DCTV.
That's right.
Rest
when
in
that was-
peace.
But that was awesome, and I was really sad when that.
And then
that
we
went
were
away.
forced to go to Twitch.
See, that was one of those things that my thing that I feel is in life is whenever I get into a thing, it dies. DCTV. I don't know why.
I think that falls under the rule of Clyde.
No. That's my rule. Your rule is completely different, sir.
Well, no, I'm just saying because the same thing happens to me. I would put that under the rule of Clyde on my end.
I think the rule of Clyde is a specific thing, and that is not it. But
I really liked DCTV, and they canceled it.
There you go.
Yes, then it does. Then that way, you're right.
Canceled it.
You're right. Yep. But for me, it's I finally get into the thing and they cancel. It's the rule of Matt. I think I'm finally gonna get into this. Oh, let's try this. Everybody says it's great, and we're gonna cancel that in 2 weeks. It's like crap.
And the rule of Michael is the day I order a expensive piece of technology, they will announce the new technology that replaces it for the same price or less, and I'll be like totally screwed. It'll actually be like the day it arrives at my house, so I can't just cancel or anything.
What you need to do is you need to game the system and order from a place that has a very generous return policy, no restocking fee, so that you can force that. And if you know that that's going to happen, you can also invest in the company, and then you force that little bump in their stock. You make a couple bucks, and then you use those profits to pay for the new product when it finally comes out.
Being aware of a mystical force, is that insider trading?
No, it's called superpowers.
Superpowers. Yeah. Okay. Not illegal insider trading.
All I want to know is I want to know when you decide to buy the thing, so I can be excited about the thing that comes after. Okay.
Yeah.
Just say I finally decide to buy this new thing. It's like great. Can't wait to hear about the new thing next week.
So one of the new VOD Squad projects that we will be shipping is Mike will be letting us know when he buys a thing.
Nice.
So that we know.
This totally should be on the Patreon.
Yeah.
You've got to be a Patreon to get that insider news.
There will be a patron tier for we need was it Louder with Crowder? We need something with Matt. With Mike. But yes.
Yeah.
So if you're on the right tier, he will let you know when he buys a thing, so that you know a new thing is coming and you can act accordingly. We are not telling you to buy the stocks. We are not telling you to hold out and wait for the new product. All we are telling you is information. You can use that how you choose.
So speaking of stocks, there's another little tidbit about since we've had the show. October of 2016 is when AT&T bought Warner Brothers.
Oh, really?
It's another one, Matt.
Right after we started the podcast, AT&T buys Warner Brothers.
That's right.
Now has since split off from AT&T and merged with Discovery. Right? So all that has happened in the time that we've done this podcast.
Yeah.
CNN Plus came and went. Quibi came and went. MoviePass didn't quite start, but died and came again, and died and came again.
That sounds dirty. I'm having flashbacks to a comedy bit by Sam Kinison.
Yeah, I think that I don't know.
Look up gay necrophiliacs and thank me later
anymore.
The incognito window, everything you recommend, sir. Everything.
And then do yourself a favor. Oh, actually, I'll save this for rants and raves. But Sony dabbled in over-the-top streaming for about 6 months, and then they didn't even bother. They said, "Anybody want to buy it?" No, nope. Screw it. They didn't even bother trying to find anybody to buy it. They just went,
And I had used a few of them and was convinced that PlayStation Vue was the best.
Well, everybody
I really liked it. It was the most expensive. So I know that kind of played some havoc with them getting viewers, but it was one of the better services, if not the best service at the time. There was only like 4 when it came out, right? Like there was YouTube TV came out shortly after it.
The first was Sling,
was the
still
first.
around, and it's holding on for dear life now.
And I think Hulu TV came out right after it. So I think PlayStation Vue was like the second one that is the second big streaming service, and they did not last very long. Other competitors came in and beat their price, but now it's worth noting, just a few years later, 5 years, whatever, all of those services have raised their price to close to double what PlayStation Vue was.
Yeah.
That was the most expensive at the time.
And the thing was, at the time, PlayStation had the agreements that nobody else had, which gave them more content. They also had the integration into the Sony ecosystem and the PlayStation 5 or 4. PlayStation, that's another thing that came out. PlayStation 4, and you had all these things that it just made sense. And yeah, when we first started, we tried the services. Sling TV was brand new. Fubo was new. We basically, as we started, all of the the over the top streaming services were launching.
Yeah.
And
but we also started out reviewing all of that hardware. I have several, like 2 or 3 Roku devices, like 5 Fire TV devices, Chromecast device.
Well, the Fire TV devices you can't blame on this, because that's just you're a member of the cult of Amazon.
That's my poison of choice. So yeah, I will concede that I bought one of them as a review for the show. Every other one I bought.
So in other words, it's our fault. We got him hooked.
No, I already had the first one.
I would
had
say
my
that
Fire
one of
TV
those
Cube on my
Rokus,
own.
one of those Rokus he got just because he wanted a bigger TV for his room, and it was built in.
Yep. I have, I think I have 2 Roku devices, one stick and one of whatever the one that's like that big is.
Is it a 3 or the 4 or one of the other ones? Probably a 3. They don't make them very big.
But other than that, what other specific memories?
I remember us doing the movie drafts in particular.
Oh, those were awesome.
Those were a highlight.
And I do remember very vividly knowing that I would, if nothing else, we would beat you, since you were the traitor of this party. And every time we failed.
We never did.
We never were able to beat you.
What was the best we ever did? Was it like third?
We got
place
second
maybe?
once. We got second once.
Second place we got once. Okay.
So
Yeah,
I am the only person to win both summers of the B Team movie draft, and then I won one of the winters.
Yeah.
So I am the winningest person in the B Team, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
See that
Most of the times that we competed, this goes back to like that stock picking thing, right? You could have bet the worst movies just by agreeing with the lineup that we picked.
Do you know what you know my secret?
What?
You poison us by doing some you've got a mole in our team and you're making us buy things. Your secret is that you somehow have tipped off the people who are using the system. That I'm putting the hat on. It's all about you doing all those things that you do to make sure that you win every time. You must grease all the palms, sir.
We established earlier, if you understand the force of the supernatural that exists, you embrace it. We've established the rule of Clyde. I look at, do I want to see this movie? Absolutely not. I'm getting it. And then the stuff that I do want,
damn it,
I pretend that I want it, and I get other people to get it.
And then we end up getting stuck with it at a ridiculously high price because we're like, "Oh, Clyde wants it. This must be a good one."
And then at some point,
and
then he
somehow
stops
we
winning.
never figured that out.
at some point we get to a point in the game where I'm the only one with money left. So then I just grab everything whether I wanted it or not.
Yep.
Dang it.
But
it works. It works.
The movie drafts were a ton of fun. I enjoyed each week watching the numbers come up, and
That's something we should bring back.
Well, there have
We're
to be
working on it.
movies.
yeah, there have to be movies.
It would be really interesting to do a low key movie draft and maybe a low scoring with who can get the lowest score kind of thing.
Well, that's easy.
Maybe rather than $100 budget, we just do a $20 budget.
Yeah.
But the problem they tried, there was talks about doing the movie draft this summer. The problem is you don't know if movies are actually even going to hit the theater. They may be headed for the theater, and then they may get moved. But
I think that's fair in movie draft because then you just if it happens to be moved within the window, you're good for you. If not, too bad.
That year where
rather than calling it movie draft, we'll just call it movie draft kings.
There. See, to Matt's point, there was that year that my Replicas movie never even came out.
That's right.
I was angry. Everybody else said it didn't matter because I had already won, but I wanted the freaking money.
Oh man, I can remember that didn't even come out. That was horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah,
what happened to that movie? Did it ever come out?
I think it finally came out at some point, but then there's the New Year's NYE marathons.
We did a couple special shows. You guys did the CES things. We've done the marathons.
Yeah, CES. That's another.
I forgot to find the video of Drunk Jury and you doing dialogue.
Oh no, sir.
It was Boss Nass and that other guy.
I do a rather good Jar Jar Binks. It's been a few years, and I refuse to do it except for very special occasions. And this is not a special enough occasion.
No, I'm not asking you to do it. I was in the memories. I was going to play that video.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot to go find it.
Thank you for forgetting.
Yeah, I've got it someplace. So now I'm going to have to put it on YouTube where it will live forever.
Or better, put it on the Patreon. Maybe people pay for it.
Yeah, hey.
Everything could go behind the paywall, right?
Sure.
Right?
Why not? Why not?
No.
It's we're sub only on Twitch.
No.
If we were staying on Twitch.
See, we're moving to a place where only fans can find us.
OnlyFans? OnlyFans?
I didn't say that.
You said the place where only fans can find us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
No,
I'm just kidding.
And
Well,
no, there will
starting an
never be the
OnlyFans.
bikini episode. That was teased at one point, but it will never happen. You're welcome.
We should put that as a Patreon thing. Maybe people would pay to not have us do it.
But that sounds all good in the initial planning until you realize they
Somebody
also have the
somewhere actually
option
wants
of
it.
just not watching.
Just do it.
That's free.
Yep. Oh well. Yeah, I forgot to obviously CES was a lot of fun. We went to CES for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
And the fourth year was 2000. We got to CES.
I got COVID. Even
Clyde
though
got
all the
COVID.
scientific specialists said it was impossible, it's not in the U.S. There is absolutely no way you could have gotten it.
But you got it.
I did. I got the extra dangerous one that supposedly kills everybody.
Yeah. And then, we obviously haven't been since. They've been draconian with their policies since then, or not had.
Well,
it.
actually, you guys did go. You guys totally went to the
No,
Las Vegas
I
one,
went.
wasn't it?
I
I
did.
went
Right.
in 2021.
You totally
Yeah.
went
I
there.
was the only person that went to CES in 2021. I even took my daughter.
They didn't
Nobody
let you in the
showed up.
door because there's nobody there.
Yeah,
the
they
worst,
did it virtually that year.
The worst part was we had finally gotten to a point where we were invited for 2022 to use the DTNS booth at CES,
Nice.
but we didn't go, and then they ended up not going. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
but
That's okay.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I
but
will
then-
say CES 2021 was probably my favorite CES. I told my daughter that first night when we were there, we're driving down the strip, and I told her, look around, remember this, because you will never, ever have this experience or opportunity ever again.
Yeah.
We were sitting at a red light. The fountain show at the Bellagio or whatever started going. So I sat there, we watched it. The light turned green. We kept sitting there watching it. And then the light turned red again. And then the fountain show ended. And when the light turned green, we drove away. We could do that because we were the only car on the strip. Just like you see in the movies.
Yeah, it was it's interesting. I occasionally watch Five Finger Death Punch, and they did a video that was similar to that. And it's kind of creepy to see and I went down, I was at DEF CON and the Health Information Management Symposium in summer of 2021. And even then it was still pretty dead. I would say that you could walk a half a block or so without encountering another person on almost any part of the strip. That's just unheard of, especially in the August DEF CON and Black Hat Week, because there's usually an extra 100,000 people there for that. And then, obviously CES is even more insane, but
I'm looking forward to going back to CES whenever they take a more realistic approach. Although we're almost to September and they still haven't opened registration. That tells me they don't even know if it's happening.
Yeah. Well, the year, what was it, 2021, right? Like or was it 2022? They didn't have hardly anybody show up. In 21, they did it virtually.
They said
it
we're
was
going to
still
do it online.
a smaller show.
Yeah.
They did an online one that was very small. And then 2022, earlier this year, they did it in person again. And very few people showed up. Very few companies participated. It was kind of a failure in a lot of respects. And so
well, it's
a good question. Are people ready to go back to big, massive crowd events like CES? I think a lot of people are, but there's still a lot of people that aren't, and especially companies that look at it as a risk aversion thing. If I send my employees and they have to go and then they get COVID,
most of the people that are on the floor are hired to work the booth. They're not the actual company's employees.
Yeah, they're marketing contract deals.
Oh, remember? I think you were with. We were over in the car audio, and there was that lady at the escort booth, and I said, "You must get a lot of funny looks, don't you?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Why is that?" I said, "You've got a big tag that says escort," and she goes. There was that wave of realization. Escort security systems with real escorts.
Boy.
Hey, before we get too far down that path, I do want to say thank you to all of the patrons, both current and past and present, that have been supporting us over the last few years. It was only a couple years ago that we launched the Patreon, and you guys are awesome. I just want to let you know that while things may be changing, we are not going away.
Nope.
Obviously, there will be no charges next month or whatever while there is no content. But there's no reason to cancel. Why would you cancel something that's not charging you?
That's right.
Yeah.
We will be changing how things work. So we'll give you a heads up if there's any need to change the way you measure things. So we won't start charging you like
obviously
3 times a week like what we may be doing. But so don't worry about that. We'll give you plenty of heads up. So if there's a change that you need to make, we'll give you plenty of time to make.
Yep. Obviously, with the coming changes, there will probably be new opportunities, perks, that kind of thing, and obviously you'll get notified before any of that goes live. So.
And we greatly appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely. All of you. And a reminder, if you weren't here earlier, the one thing that we're asking everybody to do, it's free. It doesn't cost anything other than a minute of your time. Go to YouTube, look for the VOD Squad, hit subscribe. That's it. Just hit subscribe. And, all right. Should we get into some rants and raves before we get too far along? Let's see how delayed this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I'm not even gonna.
He cut off the static.
Rants, raves. What do you got?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this week I've been pretty busy with doing lots of my own stuff and among working in the backyard and all that jazz. But the one thing that made me laugh more than anything was this article I read recently about apparently there's a song that was being played on people's computers that would cause their computers to crash. Back in 2005 or thereabouts, the companies for producing computers were trying to figure out why playing the specific song would cause their laptop to crash. And they couldn't figure it out why. There's no reason why it would be causing it to happen. Interestingly enough, they put the laptop next to a competitor's laptop and played that song through that first laptop, and it also crashed the laptop next to it from a competitor. What the heck was happening? So they compared the two laptops and figured out what was similar, what was different between them. They both had the exact same hard drive inside. This hard drive was a 5400 RPM drive and had a resonance frequency that was exactly triggered, much like if you've ever seen the pictures of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, there's the right frequency making that thing wobble and break eventually. Same thing here for those hard drives. For when you play Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation anywhere near it or from its own computer speakers, you would cause those the computers running with those hard drives to crash.
You know that was by design, right?
Well, it was like Windows XP, right?
It was designed by the Rhythm Nation as a weapon to use against their enemies.
So I read this, I laughed. I was like, okay, how long has it been? I vaguely remember this song, so I had to go ahead and pull it up and watch the video.
And did your hard drive crash?
No. Oh. Thankfully, I had an SSD, so I'm okay.
That would be bad if it resonated.
I'm immune. But anyways, well, first of all, I'm a sucker for well choreographed dance songs. I actually miss that. I think that's a thing that's kind of gone away, and I kind of wish sometimes they'd come bring that back.
You know why it went away?
Why?
Well, it was her fault. Her and Justin Timberlake.
That was not that was choreographed, but that was also not what I was talking about.
That was the last super choreographed thing for a really long time.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, sure, okay. We'll say that's the reason why it stopped. People stopped doing a group of people dancing together the same way. Okay,
Mhm.
whatever. But that song got stuck in my head all night long. I could not sleep that night because I could had the Rhythm Nation in my head. So apparently my head has a hard drive in it, and it was crashing me. So that sucked. That's it. That's all for me. And cheers.
All right.
Cheers. I don't have a lot to rant or rave about today. I've been watching Alone and enjoying the new season, this year's episode of Alone.
Oh.
I have been watching the show Alone, not
Oh.
by myself. I've been watching it with my wife,
Do
but
you feel alone?
I do sometimes feel alone while I watch Alone with my wife on the sofa. That's really about it. There's this has been a busy couple of weeks, and I am very happy that August is reaching an end because it's been quite an adventure.
It's not over yet. I still have some more time to get stuff done.
Is that when when school starts? Is September, or has it already started?
It starts for me right after Labor Day.
Wow.
So
Very late start.
Your school has a normal start time.
yes.
My daughter starts before Labor Day, which makes absolutely no sense. Because why would you go to school for like 3 days and then have a holiday? Just go after.
That is a 3-day week, then a 4-day week, then a full 5-day week.
What
That
it is it's
nice
screwing up all the parents' travel plans.
Because
we can't leave early for the weekend because she's got to be in school. And
fair enough. No, I get it. Fair enough. And but that is a common thing to do to try to ease kids back into the rhythm of going to school again. Also, it's 180 days of a year, so a specific number of hours they have to have kids in school, for a school year to be complete. And so they have to decide when to have breaks and how late for it to go, and depending on how various holidays fall on different times and dates, that really is a weird decision. There's a whole committee about picking your school calendar. If you feel that big on it, join your school calendar committee for the next school year so you can talk about it and make a demand that it be.
Nope. After this year, my daughter's got one more year.
Oh, okay. Don't care anymore. Huh?
I'm beyond that. She's at the point where she can drive herself and meet us for all I care. All right, Jimmy. You got something?
Yeah, and too, Mike, I'll second the Alone. My sister-in-law, of all people, got me to watching Alone. I'm somewhere. She started me off not in the first season. It was like probably somewhere in the middle or something like that. She said, "Here, start with this season," and I have to admit, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've only watched maybe 7 episodes of the whatever season I'm watching.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, not too bad. So yeah, I'll second that show Alone. So I checked out the first episode of She-Hulk.
Oh.
And I thought it was pretty good, right? It was not your typical superhero Marvel show, right? I mean, it had comedy in it, that kind of thing. I think maybe some of the critics didn't like the CGI, right, and all that kind of thing in it. But I mean, that doesn't bother me. I mean, hey, it's the Hulk, right? What Hulk movie doesn't have CGI in it, right?
Well, when you have a multi-million-dollar budget for a movie, you can make the CGI Hulk look really good. Versus when you have I don't know how many millions of dollars, but not all that money spent on making She-Hulk, and you've got a bit of the uncanny valley for her. People complain.
Well, ever since the days of Lou Ferrigno, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that was the last time they didn't have
Could
CGI.
he play She-Hulk?
Can I just say, when you're talking about She-Hulk, the term uncanny valley takes on an entirely different connotation.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
I enjoyed the She-Hulk. It was good. I'm gonna watch all the episodes in this season, right? So, that after that first episode, they have me, and I'll probably watch it to the end on this one. I hope they have a second season. Maybe they will.
We shall see. I have not gotten a chance to watch that, so I will probably watch episode 1 this week.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, there's comedy in it, which I didn't think it would be that much comedy in it, right?
From what I hear, that's like the whole thing. It's She-Hulk is like totally a spoof, comedic.
Good.
Somewhat, yes.
Good.
It
should
is,
be.
and it's got the actress Tatiana Maslany, and I liked her in Orphan Black, right? She was the Canadian actress who starred in Orphan Black.
Wait, she's Canadian?
She is.
I thought she was Russian in Orphan Black or whatever.
Well, she did several accents.
She was
She's a member of the club.
in that. I think she was like Asian at some point in that show.
That was one of the reasons why I liked her, because her range to be able to do that many accents, right? Yeah. So, and she did quite a few of them pretty well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's in it, and if you've watched anything with her in it, she's been pretty good in most things I've seen her in. I definitely think it's worth checking out.
I'm excited to watch it. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Have to watch it with the fam.
So I'm actually kind of surprised. There's a thing that premiered this week that I'm surprised I'm the one bringing it up. So did any of you watch House of the Dragon?
Nope.
I did.
Okay, you did. George R. R. Martin said that this is the show that he always wanted to make.
Really?
And I'm pretty confident that this show is going to be very successful. You know
what
how
makes you say that?
Because you don't like it at all.
Absolutely hated every freaking minute of that stupid show. It was worse. It was more boring than Night Flyers, the other George R. R. Martin show that he was very proud of. Oh, dude, it was just boring. People standing there talking. Nothing happens. And then it's just
if you've read his books, which I have only read the first 5.5 Ice and Fire books,
but he doesn't finish the.
There is a lot of people just standing around talking, in the books, and kind of in the show. Most of that standing around talking is naked, but that's
also
not terribly relevant, and there's a lot of talk about food.
Yeah. Also, my second favorite Doctor Who, naked in a whorehouse, was confusing. Yes, Matt Smith is in this.
Yeah, there's an inordinate amount of nudity.
No, the nudities,
so.
And I would say this one was actually pretty tame for Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
but it was just my second favorite Doctor Who in the whorehouse that made it confusing. I hope something happens. It's God.
You heard it here first. It's going to be a smash hit.
Probably, because if episode 2 isn't like completely different, I'm probably out for good. Yeah, dude, that was. I have seen more enjoyable dialogue from C-SPAN. Remember C-SPAN? where you get people that aren't like trained in public speaking reading stuff, and it's just
that would be your Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And authors and just other like
Yeah.
So
And the stuff that they were reading was usually like bills.
Yes.
and
C-SPAN.
it was more exciting than episode 1 of
Well, I think C-SPAN is an excellent bar for you to try to be over in excitement for your movie. I think if we were to make an excitement scale, C-SPAN could make an excellent lower ring for you to try to get over, lower rung. And if
all right.
well,
Okay.
it sounds like Jury made it on C-SPAN. Hopefully, he made it over that lower rung. That's all I'm saying. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Probably the best 10 minutes or 45 minutes on C-SPAN.
Also, if it's on
history.
C-SPAN, it's in the archives. We could all bring it up and watch it anytime. No, that's great.
Alrighty. Well, before we end this and go into the post show, just kind of let you guys know going forward. So this will be probably the last live stream, except for maybe special occasions like New Year's Eve and maybe some sort of patron thing, or if there's crazy something going on. If PS View revive PS View and they've got a countdown, maybe we'll sit there for the last 10 minutes and live stream us waiting for it to launch. Who knows.
I would totally do a show where we do the over the commentary for a live event. That would be fun.
I just had an idea
or something like that
tomorrow. Actually, so it's tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
I'm at work. Well,
9 a.m. Central?
No.
Oh, no, it is 9 a.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Hold on. But
what's going on tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.?
Well, we've got a thing currently counting down.
We do.
The Movie Pass beta launches in 9 hours, 47 minutes, and 26 seconds.
Well, we need to give it a little bit of commentary
I
will
be there. I will be there at that moment to but I don't know if I'm going to live stream it because I'll technically be in my work day. But
dang work getting in the way of us doing cool live streams.
Right? But hey, see, that's why we just need to, with the new curated content, we need to get a lot of viewers and get a lot of patrons. That way, that can just be our work day, and we can blame them.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're looking at more short form curated content, because not everybody is into everything, and not everybody wants to watch the whole thing. So
heck no.
We're
much better to listen to anyways, as you know.
Yeah.
At least we were.
Yeah. And look forward to that. We'll be making announcements. You can give us a follow where we make announcements. If you're on the Poodle Puncher Discord, there is, VOD Squad stuff on there. We at the VOD Squad on Twitter still works.
Agree. Thank you, Matt. It has likewise been a pleasure. Enjoyed it a lot and looking forward to another 300 episodes done in a slightly different format.
And we're back. Psych. That was all. That was planned. That was all part of the plan. We're gonna see who stuck around.
I thought there was a bandwidth problem on my side, so I closed Twitch when it started spinning.
You broke Twitch? What'd you do that for? Oh man!
See, you got to remember that this is one of the reasons we left Twitch, because once we were gone from Twitch on YouTube, I never once had a drop.
We had
anything.
No issues.
I am dropping. This time I am dropping like 900 over 900 frames in the last like few minutes, or that time that it was down. It's a Twitch thing. Oh well. Okay. Hey, why don't we shut this down and head over to the post show? Thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and remember, we are still collecting bits if you want to make Matt drink.
This is still my first glass. This has been sad.
He's still got a whole freaking half a bottle to finish.
Yeah, guys,
so. It's... All right. Here we go.
This spill.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.